Okay, so as we know, in this environment, a lot of people have lost their jobs. They've been laid off, they've been furloughed, hours have been cut back. I know personally, my income has been reduced significantly. After taking a few measures, looking at my expenses, I've really not given it any thought because I'm sort of looking at action and opportunity. So, can you take this time, this crisis, if you've been laid off, if you have been furloughed, or you've got more time on your hands, can you take this and look at it as an opportunity instead of be stuck in feelings of lack, uncertainty, worry, stress, fear? Because those feelings won't do anything for you except take you down a rabbit hole, right? As human beings, one of the best things we have is the ability and the ability to choose, to actually take action. And if we look back in history, we'll see many stories of people that thrived through Great Depressions, crises, recessions, and came out stronger on the other side. And just to give you an example of a few, so GM, during the Great Depression, they noticed, right? Obviously, their business was down, so they took action. They reduced their cost base. And this reduction to their cost allowed them to reduce their most expensive cars by 70%. And then they added efficiencies. They said, we're using a lot of different parts in our different models. Let's look and streamline parts so that we're using the same parts in the different models, creating a more efficient environment, creating flexible capacity. And then they decided to expand aggressively into the lower end market, into the lower end car market, because what was happening there in the Great Depression, right? It's very simple. People don't have money. So are you going to put research and development and all your sales efforts in the high-end cars? No, you're going to put it in the low-end cars. So they aggressively marketed that market. Chrysler did the same thing. They made similar efficiencies, but they wanted a long-term approach. So they said, we're going to put money into research and development as well. And so they did. They were successful through the Great Depression. But Ford was caught in indecision, and they were inflexible, right? Companies like this just blow my mind. I'm like, how can you be so rigid? Because when you're rigid and you don't make decisions quickly and adapt, then you're gonna die, or you're gonna be left behind. And that's exactly what happened to them. So GM and Chrysler, they stole market share, they had higher margins, and Ford, they were just stuck, right? Under indecision. And then I'm gonna read this quote to you. Napoleon Hill said, "Indecision, doubt, and fear. The members of this unholy trio are closely related. Where one is found, the other two are close at hand." And Marcus Tullius added that indecision is a thief of opportunity and will steal us blind, right? And Ford's indecision left them with lost market share and decreased revenues for several years afterwards, just because they didn't take action, right? Because of worry and fear. McDonald's, in the middle of a recession in the mid-70s, they, instead of slowing down the opening of stores because they were in the recession, they actually kicked it up a gear. And they said, let's open more stores, right? So taking action, being positive, thinking of abundance, right? And they increased their capacity by 50%, 50% storefront. That's what they did. And Burger King, on the other hand, Burger King did the opposite. They slowed their openings because they had a new owner who was pessimistic. He was worried, afraid, scared. And this led to a huge competitive advantage for McDonald's, and they've never looked back, right? And look at where they are today. So it's companies like that make decisions during tough times to forge ahead or move forward however they can, right? And then there's personal stories. There's one of Charles Darrow. Charles Darrow found himself unemployed in 1929 at the start of the Great Recession, and there was this game called the Landlord Game that was developed by a lady several years before his time. But when he lost his job in 1929, he took the board game model that she had and he put years into perfecting it. And that board game is Monopoly. So he took his time of crisis, or his loss, his uncertain time, and he turned into action, right? He saw opportunity. He didn't sit back. He didn't wait. He didn't wallow. He didn't think of lack. He used it as an opportunity. He became the first millionaire game board designer. And I think everybody, at least in the Western world, has at least played a game of Monopoly, right? So that was created through through his time of distress, right? Through times of trouble. So I just want to leave you with this. The most sophisticated piece of machinery you will ever own is right here. It's your brain. There is never going to be a piece of machinery that's going to be better than what you have between these ears, but it's really up to us to, are we going to use it to its full potential, or are we just going to allow it to use us? Because that's what happens. If we're unconscious and we get stuck in worry or fear or lack, well, then it's controlling us rather than using it consciously to create, right? Because we are really only limited by our creativity. Like, that's the great thing about human beings. And the human spirit is way stronger than we give it credit for. And we can come out of crisis stronger, more resilient, but we have to take the right actions, right? We have to sit back and look at things consciously and take action, create, use our brain, because there's so many things that can be created. And I encourage everybody out there, if they've lost their job, if they're down on hours at work and they have this free time, don't let it go to waste. Use it as an opportunity to create something great. I look forward to seeing your new board game. Thank you very much. Thanks for watching.